worker is about to cut open a giant chocolate bar so everyone can taste it, but the saw blade gets stuck instantly, and this weird liquid keeps oozing out of the cut. The boss rushes over to help. He yanks hard, and the chocolate slowly splits open. At first, they think they hit some kind of rare, boozy-filled chocolate, but then they realize the truth. Inside the massive chocolate is a dead body. The Bones team arrives at the scene. Lisa crouches down to examine the remains. Based on the pelvic bones, she determines the victim is female, and early hardening in the spinal joints suggests she was around 30. Camille checks the liquor filling inside the chocolate and discovers the body was wrapped in chocolate during decomposition. That's why the soft tissue quickly broke down into liquid. Soon, Jack brings the boss and the engineer over for questioning. The boss's name is Jimmy. He says before the chocolate was poured and shaped, he supervised the whole process and never saw any body. The engineer adds that they started making the chocolate at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, and it didn't fully set until 3 p.m. on Thursday. A total of 53 hours. During that time, Jimmy personally checked it every 8 hours, and nothing seemed wrong. Jack asks Jimmy to show them the security footage, but Jimmy tells him the giant chocolate was only surrounded by temporary fencing, so there was no camera coverage at all. So the team transports the chocolate back to the lab. A trainee scans it and finds an indentation in the back of the skull. Lisa guesses that when the killer shoved her into the melted chocolate, her head slammed into the mold. Lisa wants to examine the victim's lungs to help estimate time of death, but Camille can't even locate the lungs yet. A little later, the trainee finds cut marks on the victim's right radius too, and thinks she got them while struggling to fight back during the attack. Angela contacts Lisa and says they did a facial reconstruction, but it didn't match anyone in the missing persons database. So Jack and Lisa have no choice but to take the photo and go back to Jimmy to ask again. Jimmy takes one look and recognizes the victim. It's Harry from the R&D department. And Scott is Harry's supervisor. But Scott says he sent Harry to Maryland on Monday for a cocoa bean conference. The last time they saw him was at the staff meeting Monday morning. Jack tells Scott to pull up a list of everyone who had contact with the chocolate from Tuesday to Thursday. But Scott insists his employees would never dump a body into the chocolate. Lisa says there's no proof Harry was dumped in after death. She suspects Harry was thrown in while still alive. Meanwhile, Harris and the trainee are discussing how to remove the bones. The trainee suggests using a hairdryer since it's gentler, but Harris thinks a heat lamp would melt the chocolate more evenly. While they're arguing, Camille rushes in and stops them. Because in Angela's 3D scan, Camille spotted 2 air bubbles above the victim's jaw, possibly the victim's final 2 breaths. Melting the chocolate would destroy that evidence.